Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Nate Moore. This is Excel video 241. I spent some time on site at a practice last week. We pulled all of their appointment data into a pivot table and could do a number of things. Workers' comp was a big deal for them, so we were looking at the time between a workers' comp appointment was scheduled and the time that the patient was actually seen. We were looking at when the no-shows occurred and the patterns to it and what we can do to reduce no-shows, all from an appointments pivot table. When you're ready to put your appointment data in a pivot table, let's talk. What I want to do today is talk about an easy way to make data entry just that, a little bit easier. You're familiar, if we use this fill handle thing, we can go all the way over and make January to December work. But when it comes time to putting the numbers in here, that's where it's harder, because I'm going to make these numbers up, so it's easy for me, but I'm just hitting the right arrow and I can input numbers. But if I'm having to look over and type off of this and whatever, it's hard to get the right arrow and make it work, especially if you're using the 10 key on the side of your keyboard. So a shortcut to make your life just a little bit easier is to highlight the cells and kind of tell Excel, this is the direction I want to go. And now instead of hitting the right arrow, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the Enter key, and I can easily bounce all the way through. Now watch what happens when I get to October and I get to the end of my range. If I hit 455 here and hit Enter, Excel bounces me back to the first of the range. So you got to make sure your range is long enough that you don't start typing over the data you just put in. But it's a very easy way when you got a list of data, and particularly if you're looking off to the side and you got to type off of a list, to do that. Now instead of hitting the down arrow, I'm hitting the Enter key again, and it's very easy to just enter the data and have Excel figure out where to go, do the navigation for you, if you will. And what I'm doing is just simply saying, no, today I want to go this way, now I want to go this way. You can set the direction Excel goes after you hit Enter by default. The way to do that is to go to the File menu. If you go to Options and Advanced, this very first editing option says after I press Enter, the default is down. You can make it go down, you can make it go right or up or left. Well, let's just show you one. Now I'm going to hit 423 and hit Enter, and it's going to go down for me. My personal preference is, one of the first things I do when I go into a spreadsheet is I turn that off. I like to stay in the cell I'm in, because if I'm doing a complicated formula or whatever, I want to type whatever I'm going to do and hit Enter and stay there until I'm comfortable with it and then move on. If I want to go this way or I want to go that way, I'm going to highlight that range and do my data entry the way I showed you, as opposed to force Excel to come over in Options and Advanced and do it for me by default every time. It's a personal preference. You can do it either way, but it just saves you a bunch of time when you're reading off a list and trying to enter data to either highlight the direction you want to go and make it go that way, or just go to the File and the Options menu to say, hey Excel, every time I hit Enter, I want you to go down a cell, and you can do that as well. That's what I wanted to show you today. Hopefully it'll save you some time when you're entering data. Thanks for watching.